It's a beautiful day at Seven Springs. This is Ford Shankle, and I have a great opportunity to talk with a man by the name of George Valentine about fireworks, something we all love. And at Seven Springs they have a gala event. For whom do you work, George?
Zambelli Fireworks out of Newcastle, Pennsylvania.
Zambelli is in Pennsylvania, and way beyond Pennsylvania is the name in fireworks. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
So if you want a quality job, call them. I didn't get paid to say that. George, could you show me what you're doing? I'd like a close-up view of how you're wearing this.
What I'm doing right now is putting electrical fuse into the shell. I'll take this one out to show you exactly how. What this is, it has a little igniter tip there. You put it down in, tie it on, then we put it back to the pin on this slat. And with this slat, there's 30 positions on it, and I'll hook a cable to the slat, run it back to my board, and on my board I'll know exactly where this shell is.
Okay, so how many slats are there altogether?
For this show there's 8 slats.
8 slats? So, times 30?
Times 30.
So 240 different firework events going on?
Yes, but some of them will have 3 at a time, some will have 10 at a time, some will have 6 at a time. It'll vary from hit to hit.
And how long will that take to set off all those?
For this show in particular, they're going to have music with it. It's approximately 7 minutes 58 seconds.
So the music and the
fireworks will be
they'll be timed.
Yeah.
Great. You talked about a control board. Is it close by?
Yes, it's right over here to your left.
Oh, it's not yet set up?
No, I don't have it set up yet.
Okay. What is the highest that I've always wanted to ask this? When we see the fireworks going up in the air, how high are they actually?
It varies from shell to shell, depending on the size of the shell and the effects of it. They could go anywhere from 75 feet up to maybe 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet?
Yes. You get into larger shells, into the 10s, 12s, 16s, 24s.
So you'll be shooting out which way from here?
Straight up.
Straight up?
Yes.
So that would be, if you were down there looking up, you would see
you could look
straight up this
way. Look up the hill and you'll see it perfectly.
So it would appear as though they're out over the resort, but actually they're not out over the resort, are they?
Whenever they break open, they make like an umbrella and they spread out.
I see. So some of the firework material would be out toward that, but it's
yes.
You have to set it up so it's a safe event.
Yeah, I try to keep it straight up to maintain the distance because you need at least 70 feet per inch. Some places require 100 feet per inch. And if you stay straight up, you stay in that distance. You start angling them or leaning them, then you're going to have to allow more room on that distance for a fallout area in case something go wrong where the shell would come down inside that area.
Is there an advantage to being on a mountain here?
It gives you more height and it's be seen from further around.
And it would be safer.
Yeah.
Tell me some more. How long have you been doing this? How many years?
Since 1978.
Oh my goodness. So would you be considered an expert in this business? Don't be modest.
Knowledge.
Okay. You learn something different every day, though, I bet. Is that true?
Most predictable thing about these, once you light them, all bets are off. Anything's possible from there.
But you need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, and once you light the first shell, you never put nothing you value over top of any pipe, whether a shell came out of it or not, because you do not know what's going to happen there.
Do you also have to be concerned about, since these are explosive devices, I would think that you have to have some kind of clearance, don't you, to handle these?
Yeah, I get a background check with ATF every time Zambelli renews their license. Then my driver's license, I have a CDL license with the hazmat, with the hazardous endorsement. Every time I renew my license, I have to go in and be fingerprinted and background checked.
Wow.
And certain states require a license, and for that state, a lot of them you have to go in and be fingerprinted and background checked with them also.
So it's a serious thing. And is there a required training that's approved by the state or by the federal government?
NFPA 1123 and 1126, depending if you're going indoor or outdoor with it.
So it's a career. I mean, somebody could decide to become a
But
fireworks
there's no
expert.
school for it.
Ah,
You have to be on the job training.
I see. So you're hired by Zambelli, and then they train you on the job and
Yeah.
help you get the clearances and pass the tests and study. And
They pay for all of your tests that you have to take and all of your training, everything. He's ready to go Hollywood.
that's good. This might be his audition. Would you like this to be your audition for Hollywood?
No, thank you.
Okay. Now, come on. If somebody offered you $500,000 to do a program, I bet you would do it.
Well, I guess it would.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, probably.
everybody has this price. Come on. So if those aren't pushed in properly,
You
then,
could cut it, then stick it into the paper, then tie it. You could do that. This just makes it a little easier for us.
yeah, well, anything that saves time and makes it safer and gets the job done. Most people have not seen this before. These are standard pipes that you would put under the ground for sewer lines and so forth. Is that what this would be, George?
No. What this is high HDP, high density polyurethane pipe. It's made to absorb the shock. If you went with the pipe they use for like sewer lines, it would blow that pipe apart, just the lift charge coming out.
So this is tempered somehow, or
Yeah, it's different pipe. It's built to take the shock of the explosion whenever those shell.
wow, I never thought about that. Be quite a few pounds per square inch, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Also, this would have a higher melting point, I would think, too.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit harder to melt than the regular pipe we have.
Uh-huh. What do you call that? The red one, black one, is that?
These are the slats right here.
And those are that's a regular charge? You always have, do you have a
Correct.
ground on it and so forth?
Yeah. We'll run wire to this, to a safe location, to our pin board, then we'll
No, I see. And you
Send
have
the
another
charge.
setup way off
Yeah.
in the distance there. Is that?
The grand finale.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so it's the grand finale is actually separate.
Yeah, that way, less chance of hot sparks hitting it.
Oh.
Try
Well,
to keep it as far away from the other shows you can.
well, your welfare is important too. You don't want hot sparks coming down on you, so.
Well, we'll be up in there somewhere.
Oh, will you?
with fire.
Oh yeah. Wow.
That's what we have the electrical system for. Cables will give us distance, keep us back.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this?
5 years now.
Okay. If this will be a good career to stick with?
I hope so.
Yeah. Good. They'll probably always be setting off fireworks to celebrate something. Not quite as dependable as funeral directors and tax collectors and so forth, but I'm sure that
Never have to worry about the business. You always have.
that's right. But I think yours is a fairly stable business too, isn't it? I mean, since you're
Even with the economy, they're still having fireworks, but they've cut back in budgets a lot of places.
right. But the key groups, like the key companies like yours, are probably going to be in business as long as they want to stay and keep up with the technology.
The main thing is government regulations constantly.
Yeah, that would be tough. I'll let you go ahead and work, George, but if I could come back over for a second, I wanted to ask, how do you make the hearts or the stars, or how do you get them in those shapes? How do you know
Okay.
that what you shoot up is going to look like something to us?
Whenever they take the shell, it's a ball type. They'll take the one ball, one half the ball, the sphere, and they'll line it with like rice hulls covered in black powder. Take like a cookie cutter and put in there to make the pattern. Then you drop those shells in there. Then you have to get the precise amount of black powder in there to, whenever it busts the shell, that you're not really scattering those stars too far. You can scatter them evenly in that pattern.
So they actually come out of where? Whenever they're coming out to make those, They're exploding out of these tubes?
They'll come out of these tubes, go up. With these, there's approximately a 3-second rise time. It'll take 3 seconds from the time they leave the pipe to the time they break in the air. And then you'll hear that other boom in the air, which is busting the shell open. That's where you have to have that powder just right, so you're not breaking it too hard or too soft.
Now, do you folks put that together at the Zambelli headquarters? You actually make those, or are those custom-made somewhere else?
A lot of them are custom-made other places.
I see. So there's another whole industry that supports.
Yeah, if somebody else, like if we really had to make them, we could. But we are so busy with all these shows, like putting off displays, it's kind of hard to try to do the manufacturing end of it.
Right.
As heavy as what we'd like to.
And, well, you can specialize in your part of it then, and they can specialize in theirs. And you find a reputable company that makes those and stick with them, too, I would imagine.
We were buying them in North Dakota. And we also buy some from China.
Oh, yeah. And they're reliable?
Yes.
Well, China started, I guess they invented gunpowder and invented hot air balloons and all kinds of things over there, so they might actually be the experts in explosives.
But yeah, there's different ways to make those patterns, but that was the easiest way to make it, as I explained to you.
Mm-hmm. So how far along are you in preparation here? You have, they look mostly, this section is mostly done, is it not? You'll be working. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just past 2, and the show's at what time?
9:30.
So you have...
I'll probably be done right around 4.
Is that right?
If at the latest.
So how long does it take then to assemble from the time you drove in until you're done, ready for the show?
I got here probably about 10:30, and we've been just taking our time, taking a break here and there. We could probably put this whole thing up in about 4 hours if we had to.
Well, you want to do it the right way.
Well, we could do it the right way in that 4-hour window, but if you got time and you got a lot of time, you take your time. That way you can go back over it and check things, make sure.
Yeah. Well,
Check
safety
and double
first,
check.
that old saying, safety first.
Check and double check.
Yeah. Well, that you won't be pulling out of here until midnight probably after you tear everything down. All this has to be torn apart.
Just 9:30, probably about 11 o'clock we'll be pulling out.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, you're pretty efficient. You've done it for all these years. When you do something for, what, 32 years, 33 years, you're going to have a system down, aren't you?
Yes. Our show in Ocean City we have every year. We have 2 shows down there, myself and my brother. I shoot off the pier, he shoots the beach. We have 4 other people go with us. Our long day down there, we could drive down on June 30th and we'd come home on the 6th, but the long day down there is about 1 in the afternoon, except for the 4th of July, which we're there all day after we do the one show, and we know what we have to do each day, and we do that and get out of the sun.
Yeah. A little time to rest and relax, I would hope, after that kind of... Now, this is a good kind of tension, though. I would think that there's some stress that goes with setting these off.
Yeah, the bigger the show, the more stress.
But it's also, in a sense, kind of good stress for you, isn't it? Or you wouldn't have stuck with it this long.
It's a paycheck.
But it's also making people happy, don't you think, George? That,
yeah, it makes a lot of people happy.
And that's what satisfies, too, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people, you'll see them smiling, all happy. And to me, anymore, it's what I've done for a long time, something I know pretty well. Just like anything else, it's as dangerous as you make it.
And as enjoyable as you make it, too, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we could only teach all people who approach their work that way, we would have a happier world, I would think.
And there's times you'll have situations that's out of your control, and you have to learn to just roll with it.
Another great life lesson for people to learn.
Just roll with whatever you're dealt with and keep moving.
How far do you travel from Pittsburgh to do these?
We go all over the United States.
This unit does? You and your assistant?
It just depends. I've been all over the United States with them. Randy has about 4 years experience.
Hi, Randy.
But you'll go I've been from here, Texas, California, Florida, up into Massachusetts.
Wow.
So forth.
So you have all kinds of stories to tell.
We go into Canada. We have a big show coming up in Canada in the middle of July. We just done a show over in Oman
Over in the Middle East?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, we just done one there. That was either October or November.
Now, do you fly all of this equipment over there?
What that was, they had the equipment over there for us.
Oh.
And they had their Air Force bring the material over for us.
Is that right? So you got to meet a whole different culture.
I didn't go over there.
Oh,
our company.
Your company went over.
Yeah.
But you have traveled throughout the United States.
Yes.
Anything memorable? The show you remember the most?
It's the last one I shot.
Oh, is that right? Well, could you write a book about shows? Could you do a full-length program? I understand you were on an international program. Tell me something about that.
Larry, the cable guy, great guy. He came in to the plant, and he spent time with different people in the plant, learning how to process of making fireworks to shooting them off, making set pieces, which will spell out logos and stuff.
Wow.
He was there for 2 days. He was trying to pick up on. He buys a show for Lincoln, Nebraska off of us. That's how we got involved with it.
Has it yet been shown?
Yeah, it's been airing since February.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So where would somebody find that program?
On the History Channel.
Ah, it's still being rotated in the schedule?
Yeah, it's being rotated.
Well, that's wonderful. I missed it. Is it on demand? I would think perhaps too on
Possibly.
Cable. Well, somebody could go to probably Larry the Cable Guy's website and look at, maybe there's some kind of a clip up there that would take you into the program.
We had National Geographic in with How It's Made with Brian Brain.
Oh, yeah.
He was there, and he came, watched the whole process of making shells, the whole way through to where we fired it, and he was down at one of the Sky Blast shows we had.
So if someone out there watching this, it could be in Oman, anything that's on YouTube is around the world. How would someone or some organization get a hold of your company?
The Zambelli website.
Okay.
I'm not sure what.
Spell that for everyone, please.
Zambelli.
And I would assume it's Zambelli.com would be a website. Yeah, so they could .net, whatever it happens to be, but just type in Zambelli Fireworks, and I would think that somebody could get a hold of you. Well, we're looking forward to a great show tonight. I have 2 young children, and they love the show. They look forward to coming up here every year and seeing at least one of the shows that you do. So, George, thank you very much, and we'll be watching.